Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a makeup inventory check-in. I'm going to be posting this in January sometime. I did my roundup of inventory in December to see what my progress for the year of 2019. For those of you who have not seen my makeup inventory in the beginning of 2019, I will put it up in the cards above. You guys can check that out. But I have to say that my progress for the entire year, January to December, was actually pretty good. I didn't really buy too much makeup this year. I really stuck to my guns. I was not on a no-buy per se, but I did definitely bring down my spending habits when it comes to buying makeup. So, I'm gonna dive in. I have my tracker list here, so I'm gonna go through each category and let you guys know, what I started off with, what I ended up with, what the difference was. So face powders in January of 2019, I was at 9.5. December 2019, I was at 6. I dropped 3.5 products. So I used about 3.5 products, so that's great news. Bronzers in January of last year, I was at 10. December, I was at 9, so I dropped 1. I find that bronzers are harder to get through, to be totally honest. And I will continue not to buy any bronzers this year because I have way too many. And I find that they are harder to get through because, you're only bronzing, contouring or bronzing up the perimeter of your face normally. So you're not using as much product as like a face powder. So, I did drop 1, but I have not purchased any in 2019, and I'm going to continue that goal for 2019. I'm going to continue that goal for 2020. I'm getting all my years mixed up, man. I'm telling you. So contour palettes, I had 4 in January of 2019. At the end of the year, I had 3, so I dropped 1. My contour palettes are brand new. I actually put one of my brand new palettes in a giveaway a while ago, so I ended up giving someone a contour palette just so that someone else can get good use out of it, because I just don't use them as often. You guys, I have like a runny nose, so excuse me. I don't know if I'm getting sick. I really hope not, but anyways. Single highlighters in January of last year, I started at 22. December, I was at 20. I dropped 2. Single highlighters, I think I did give 2 away, so I don't know if I used up 2 or maybe I used up 1 and then gave away another. I can't remember, but I did get 2 out of my collection. Highlighter palettes, I had 7. Now I'm down to 6. I went down 1. I did put a highlighter palette in a giveaway that I didn't even use. It was brand new, haven't touched. So that was good for someone else to use. Foundations, I was at 18. December, I ended off at 15. I dropped by 3. So I did use up those foundations this year. I don't really give away foundation because it's very skin color specific. So I actually finished 3 foundations in a year, which was fantastic. Primers, I started off with 10 full size and 5 sample. In December, I had 6 full size and 0 samples. So that was a great progress for me for primers. I dropped 4 of full sizes and dropped all 5 samples I finished up. It's nice to declutter and get stuff out of your collection. Like, even though I've dropped a lot already, I still have a lot, which is weird because I haven't spent any money in repurchasing these items. So it's so crazy. It actually gives you an idea of how long it takes you to finish a product. So like if you have, for example, I have 9 bronzers still, and in the whole entire year I only finished 1. Realistically, I have if I'm only finishing a bronzer a year, I'm pretty much, I'm solid for 9 more years of bronzers, which is kind of crazy. Because, I mean, who knows what could happen in 9 years. But anyways. Concealers. I started off with 10. In December, I was at 7. So I dropped 3. I did use those up. Concealers, I find I use up fast because I use quite a bit of concealer on a day-to-day basis when I'm wearing makeup. Don't look at me today. I'm wearing 0 foundation, 0 skin coverage. I'm just wearing a bold lip just to kind of give you guys a nice pop of color because I have no other makeup on. So yeah, concealers, I dropped 3. I used up 3, which was great. I'm going to continue to do that. I still have 7 to go. I'm going to continue to use them up. I'm not going to, buy any more. Brow gels had 4, is down to 2, so I dropped 2, which was great. Brow pencils, I had 4, down to 3, dropped 1, which is great. Brow powders, I had 1, I still have 1. I didn't really move there because I haven't been using powder in my brows lately, which I will start up again soon. Brow pomades, I have 2, I still have 2. I haven't really used pomades either. Pomades are really like harsh on the face, so I feel like I have to really take my time using them, and most of the time when I'm doing my makeup, it's a quick and easy full face for work or whatever. So like pomades I only usually do if I have the time to do my makeup for a really glammed up look, which is not as often as you may think. So yeah, I didn't move there, and I didn't buy any more brow pomades because I don't need any. I have one Anastasia one, and I have one Benefit one, which is the Ka-Brow, which is really nice too. It's a drier formula, but it does work well. Eyeshadow primers, I had 4, I'm down to 3, so I dropped by 1, which was amazing. Sorry guys, I keep looking down because of my paper. Where am I? Single eyeshadows, I had 18, dropped to 16, I down by 2, which was nice. I had a few single eyeshadows that were like a bone matte color, and that's what I basically used this year as a setting the lid after I primed my lid. So, using that all the time as your base definitely, eats up the product, which is great. Pigments, have 4, still have 4. I don't plan on moving from pigments, up or down ever, because I use pigments for an all over shine on the lid, and potentially could use it as a highlighter as well, but I don't as often, and I don't use pigments as often, so those pigments will last me for a lifetime. Eyeshadow palettes, I had 37, now I'm at 38. I went up 1 in this department. I honestly, I went up 1 because I purchased a new palette, which one did I purchase this year? Oh, the Huda Beauty Nude Medium eyeshadow palette, like the travel size, which is beautiful. So yeah, that's the one I picked up, and to be honest, I haven't bought a palette all year, so that was the only one I bought, and I'm pretty proud of myself, because there was tons of other palettes that I had my eyes on, like Natasha Denona, super expensive. I really held back, so I'm really proud of myself that it was only up 1. And for me personally, palettes are a great staple that I rotate all the time in my collection, so I'm not really that, worried about it. Eyeliners. So this is including pencil and liquid. I had 24, now I'm at 26. I went up by 2, only because around the semi-annual sales at Sephora, I do pick up a Kat Von D liquid eyeliner every time there's a sale, so I get a discount, so I did go up 2, but those eyeliners run out quick, so it'll drop to within like 3 months, because if I'm wearing eyeliner all the time, those eyeliners do dry up fast. But I love the Kat Von D ones because they are matte and they dry down and they don't budge, which is fantastic. Mascaras, I had 8, went up by 1, went to 9. Again, when there's the, VIB sales, I stock up on those because they are something that I will rotate out every 3 months. So every 3 months I wash out my mascaras. I replace them with new ones just to keep my eyes from getting infection, because I'm prone to eye infections. So that one, I did go up 1, but I'm not really that worried because every 3 months I replace them anyways. Facial setting sprays, I was at 8.5. I'm down to 7. I dropped 1.5 product, which is like full size and a sample size or a travel size, which is great because I was trying really hard with the facial setting sprays, and I managed to finish a full size one, which is awesome. Lipsticks. Okay, so here is where the numbers kind of are a little bit higher in the lip product department, and unfortunately, I am, every year I try my best to declutter and, give stuff away that someone else can use. So I did drop in numbers, but they're still quite high. So I started off with lipsticks, 45 down to 41. So I dropped 4. I gave the majority of these I've given away because there's no way I can finish a full-size lipstick in literally a few months and like finish a couple at a time. It's just not possible. Liquid lipsticks, I had 88. I'm down to 78. I dropped 10 because I did give quite a bit away. Lip glosses, I had 30 down to 29. I finished a lip gloss. It will be in my next empties. If you haven't seen that already, it will be in my next empties, so watch out for that. which is the first time I finished a lip gloss, I think, in my entire life. I'm not going to lie. Lip liners, I had 72 down to 61. I dropped by 11, only because I did give some away. The ones that were untouched, I included in giveaways, and, you know, other people can enjoy the same products I do love. So, there's that. Blushes, I had 23 down to 18. I dropped 5. I did give some away. Blush palettes, had 2, still have 2. Didn't move in that department. That one I don't think is going to move very much because I don't really use blush all that often, believe it or not. And the blushes that I do have, I feel like are my ultimate favorite. So I don't know if I don't see myself buying any more blushes in the near future. I'm not a blush girl. Never really was. I try to remember to put it on. Sometimes it's hard to remember to put it on. And I just never really, had a passion for the blush department. So I can only see me either dropping these numbers. I don't see myself making any more purchases on them. As for like lip products, it is such a weakness of mine for lip products. I absolutely love lip products, as you can tell. Lipsticks, liquid lipsticks are a weakness, and lip glosses are a weakness of mine as well, especially lip liners. But I keep reminding myself how many lip liners I have, so I have not purchased any in the entire year. So that's amazing. So the lip glosses, I'm really impressed with myself that I finished one myself. And then the liquid lipsticks that I gave away are just, you know, I have too many. I wasn't going to use them. There's quite a few that haven't even been cracked open, so I definitely include them in, you know, future giveaways and whatnot, because it's just too much product. This is a really big eye-opener, you guys, when you do an inventory of your makeup collection on how much you really have, how much you really don't need, and how long it takes you to finish a product, realistically. Like, when I'm looking at these numbers and I know which ones I've finished and which ones I've given away, I can tell that there's no reason for me to go and buy another lip product for a long ass time, because I don't finish lip products as fast as I do a face powder or a foundation. Foundations and face powders I go through quarterly, I find, roughly quarterly every few months. So, you know, that's easier for me to repurchase or whatnot. But lipsticks, lip glosses, that's definitely on hiatus for me repurchasing anything. Highlighters, I'm not buying anymore. I have too many to begin with. Trying to get through them is really hard because, let's be real here, one highlighter can last you a full year. My girlfriend has one highlighter. She had Champagne Pop by Becca, and it lasted her either a year or a year and a few months, and she didn't have to go and buy a new one for like almost a year and a half, close to. So like highlighters, I mean, I have one for every year, basically for the next 20 years of my life. I won't have to buy another highlighter until, realistically, I'm 31. So 31 to 41, 41 to 51 for 20 years. Like, thinking like that makes your mind really put yourself in check on making you not spend that money. That's frivolous. You know what I mean? Do you guys get it? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But, like, you know, foundations. I have 15 foundations. Foundations expire really quickly because they're a liquid formulation. So those foundations I will be focusing on to use up in the next couple of years so that they don't all expire. I'm actually on the verge of finishing 2, and I'm hoping to finish those in the early 2020 first quarter of the year, just so that I can get them out of my collection. Concealer, same thing. You know, I think a lot of my focus that I need to really go down on is my foundations, my eyeliners, my lip products, that kind of stuff is what I'm probably going to focus more on in 2020 to bring down those numbers even more for the next year. So this is kind of like, what am I trying to say? Okay, this is kind of like my December check-in and my January 2020 check-in. So it's kind of like, okay, I've ended 2019, and this is what my numbers are at the end of 2019. This is what I'm starting with in the beginning of 2020, and then we'll see how, you know, the progress is come the end of 2020. I used to do mid checks come June, but honestly, work gets really busy for me in that time, and it's really hard for me to sit down and count through all of my products. So I'm going to just do a January check-in and a December check-in, and then continue that, you know, until my numbers drop significantly for my makeup, because I just have too much in certain categories that need to definitely drop. Like my liquid lipsticks, I have 78. Where am I going with 78 lipsticks? Liquid lipsticks. And that's not even counting my actual tube lipsticks. So, that number is going to be worked on this year. Definitely big time. It's crazy. Crazy. Really wide. Rude awakening. I kind of knew these numbers from last year, because like obviously my numbers at the beginning of 2019 were a lot higher. So the good thing is that majority of the categories did drop, which is nice. But I still have, you know, I still have some work to do. I have a long road ahead, and it's definitely a journey. It really is. I hope that you guys, you know, if you're having a major breakdown in your makeup inventory, you're noticing you have a lot of stuff, you don't want to spend money and waste it, this is a good way of giving you a overall perspective of what you have, what you don't need, how long it takes you to finish a product, and then when you add that formulation into what you currently have, you're just like, oh my god, I really don't need to buy lipsticks for another 10-20 years. And by then, most of them will expire, which is kind of sucks, because then you're wasting a whole ton of money. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it just puts your whole mind in perspective. So, I hope this helps you guys, because it's really helping me in my journey in visually seeing what I need to focus more on. I did include any BB creams in this makeup inventory, because I only have 2, and I don't really go overboard with those. I have one bronzing one, and I have one regular one that has SPF in it that I only use when I go away or in the summertime, because it's a high SPF. So that one I didn't include because it's not really a category that really needs work. And I didn't include any hair care because I don't have a lot of hair care. So I have my basic products that I am tried and true to, and I kind of, you know, use them up and then repurchase as I use them. So with that category, I'm pretty good as well. It's actually just my makeup and skincare that I have to kind of get a hold on. But yeah, so leave comments down below. Let me know if you guys are on this journey as well. I would love to know what you guys are going through. Don't forget to enter my New Year's giveaway. I will also link that in the cards above. That giveaway goes until January 31st, 2020. So just make sure that you enter if you're interested. And thank you so much for joining. I'm really excited to see how these numbers improve at the end of the year. So stay tuned. If you have any questions or, you know, just inquiries on any of the categories that I mentioned, please let me know. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.